advertising on Instagram and aiming to maximize your ROI as you move into 2020, then you're at the right video, as I'm gonna break down 3 essentials for 2020 based on my experience buying over 30 million in paid social ads for global brands over the last 10 years. And I'm 100% sure that these strategies will help expand your understanding of Instagram ads and your profits in this new year. Welcome back to Market and Hustle. My name is Zaryn, and if this is your first time here, welcome. And you should consider subscribing, as we frequently publish videos designed to simplify marketing so that you can accelerate your business growth. So let's jump into it. What I want to talk to you guys today is, first and foremost, your audience strategy moving into 2020 when you're running ads on Instagram. You first want to maximize your website retargeting if you're not already doing that, regardless if you're a new advertiser or someone that's already experienced and on the platform. Now, if you're already experienced and you're running retargeting ads on the platform, a very big opportunity is for you to segment your messaging. So someone that hasn't been to your website in 30 days shouldn't necessarily get the same message to someone who's been on your website within the last 7 days. Something really effective that we see when we're trying to increase our ROI is by segmenting our message based on recency. So saying something different to someone from 7 days, 14 days, and 30 days could be extremely impactful. And you can use the framework RSO. A 7-day, maybe you want to remind them. After 7 days, 14 days, maybe you want to try to give them some kind of soft incentive. And then at 30 days, you need to give them an offer. If they haven't been back to your website in 30 days, you need to give them a very big incentive, a free offer or a discount of sorts to get them back re-engaged. And now if you're prospecting and you're looking to capture people who aren't familiar with your brand, haven't interacted with you necessarily, the most effective way to prospect, as we know, is lookalikes. So lookalikes from a CRM list, from previous purchasers. If you aren't familiar, a lookalike essentially is Facebook's gonna say, these are the people that we think are most likely to purchase from you based on the people who purchased in the past. Now, Facebook is a lot better than us at figuring out who's gonna buy, versus if you were trying to do interest targeting and behavior targeting and do all those crazy combinations. Now, if you do not have a seed list, if you do not have a list of people who have previously purchased from you, you can also build a lookalike from your website activity. So maybe people that are going to certain pages on your website that have high value, or maybe they're spending a certain amount of time on these pages, you can definitely build some lookalike audience from there as well that would perform significantly better than interest targeting. Now, the third thing I want to talk to you under audience strategies that are very important is your budget. This is something I see people continuously get wrong. There's some people that think that you need to target audiences that are over 50,000 in size. Other people say you have to target audiences that are over 200,000 in size. And a lot of time when you're building your audiences, you forget the actual budget. But there's a relationship of your budget to the audience size that is very important for you to be effective. And the one example I want to give you here is that if you run an ad against an audience of 1 million, 1 million people are not going to see your ad if you're only spending, like, I don't know, let's say $500. What you want to try to do is create a relationship where people can see your ads enough time to get them to drive some purchase intent. Now, I have an audience calculator, an Excel that you can download for free. I'm gonna link it below. I'm also gonna link you to a video that explains how to actually use that. And this is what I've used for my both agency clients and for my clients on the side that I freelance. And it really helps us to nail it every single time. But budget to audience size, very key. Let's shift down to point number 2, efficiency. 2 very easy ways that you can continue to get really good efficiency when running Instagram ads in 2020 is for you to continue to use placement optimization. Now, essentially what that does, it allows the algorithm to determine where it's gonna show your ads on Instagram. Now, there's 3 key places. You can show your ad on the feed. So as you're scrolling, once you open the app, you're seeing ads there. That's the news feed on Instagram. There's also stories. So if you go into stories, you're gonna see ads there. You could see video ads. You can see carousel ads there as well. You could also see static image ads. There's a new placement that recently opened up that's called Explore. So if you click on the search tab on Instagram and you go to the Explore section, if you select one of those pieces of content that you see there, they're all organic. As you start to scroll after you click into that, now you'll be eligible to see ads in the Explore tab, which is great because people here, they're in a discovery mindset, so they're open to finding new things. So continuing to use placement optimization is something you want to do so that the algorithm can automatically determine where's the best place to show the ad in order to get somebody to purchase. Now, the next thing you want to be using, which is relatively new in the last year or so, they introduced what they call CBO, or campaign budget optimization. So the idea here is, let's say you have 3 different audience groups that you built. So you built maybe an audience from your lookalike of purchasers, you built an audience from your lookalike of your site action, and then maybe you did a third bucket, which was interest targeting. Now, in the past, you would have to manually put how much money you wanted to put to each audience. What CBO allows you to do now is automatically shift dollars from what's giving you the best results. So for example, if you have site retargeting and that's doing very well, but at a certain point, you start hitting diminishing returns, it could shift the money automatically into your lookalike CRMs, which is a prospecting audience, so might not do as well, but at some point the algorithm could read that and automatically shift those dollars around for you. So these are 2 tactics that you should be using in 2020 that are going to continue to work very, very well. And then the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is creative. There is one hack that I used to use when I was serving a client in Miami, and we were generating over 5,000 leads a month consistently every single month on Facebook and on Instagram. And there's something that we discovered, and it was actually quite interesting because we did this by mistake, but we realized that when we started putting native elements in our ads, the conversion rate and the performance started to skyrocket. And when I say native elements, these are things that you would natively find in Facebook's UI. For example, if I went to Instagram stories right now, opened it up, let's say I took a picture, a native element I could put on that, for example, would be a location tag. I can show where I am and it looks a very particular way. Another thing I can do is write some text on there, and there's a very specific font or three or four different specific fonts that Instagram uses to display that. Another thing, of course, is a poll. I could do a poll. Those are native elements that make it seem like it's not an ad, and it makes it feel very organic. So as you start to use those native elements, the discoverability, not the discoverability, but the relevancy of it goes up because someone feels like it's an organic piece of content. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but sometimes when you see an ad on your feed, you skip right over it. So there's this tendency for people to avoid ads. Now, the more you can make your ads feel like an organic piece of content, the more relevant it's gonna feel to the user, and you're gonna start to see that you're gonna see some great results when using that in 2020. Now, this is something you could use both on IG stories and in the feed. Something that we used to do with our ads was that we realized that, for example, on Facebook ads, when users did a status post, they could do a gradient color background and they could write some text on it. So that's actually a strategy that you can use on Instagram as well and test out to see if you can see some results, or using any other native elements that you can think of as well, and incorporate elements both on IG stories and the news feed. And again, this is a process of testing and learning. So what works, for one brand might not necessarily work for the other. So it's very important that you test, you document your results, and you continue to build off of what works. But just to bring it all together, these are the 3 things that I believe that in 2020, if you can continue to test and iterate on, it's gonna help you to increase the results that you're seeing for your Instagram campaigns moving into this new year. So there you have it. Hey guys, I wanna see how much you really learned in this video. So let's say if you wanted to get the best results for your Instagram ads campaign, would you set it up with one ad set having 3 ad placements? Or would you set up 3 different ad sets, one particular for the newsfeed, one particular for Instagram stories, and one particular for IG Explore? Let me know your answer below in the comments, and if you get it right, I'm gonna shout you out in one of the future videos and shout out your business if you do have one. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.